So today we're talking about a huge shift happening in the world of programming. It's a way of building things where you don't just write code, you kind of vibe with it. It's called vibe coding, and honestly, it might just change everything we think we know about making software.
Let me just start with a crazy question. What if you could build an entire app without writing a single line of code in the traditional sense? Seriously, what if you could just describe what you want in plain English and have an AI build it for you? Well, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is the incredible promise of vibe coding.
All right, so what exactly is vibe coding? Let's break it down.
At its heart, vibe coding is really a partnership. A developer explains a project to an AI, like a ChatGPT or a Copilot, and the AI just goes ahead and generates the actual code. The name itself comes from programmer Andrej Karpathy, who coined it to describe this new, more fluid way of building things.
And this quote, it absolutely gets to the core of the idea. This isn't about being lazy. It's about shifting your entire focus. You stop sweating every little semicolon, and instead, you focus on the big picture, the vibe, while the AI handles all the nitty-gritty details. It's all about speed, creativity, and just getting into the flow.
So, that's the what. But why is everyone getting so excited about this? Well, the answer really boils down to one thing: unbelievable speed.
Before we get into the details, I just want you to look at this number for a second. 88%. What in the world could that possibly represent in programming?
That right there? That's the percentage of developers using GitHub's AI tool Copilot who say they feel more productive. And we're not talking about a tiny little bump here. This is a massive leap in efficiency. It's the engine that's driving this entire trend.
But the benefits go way beyond just raw speed. I mean, yes, some developers are reporting a 20 to 50% boost, which is insane. But it's also democratizing programming, making it easier for anyone to get started. It's sparking creativity, letting people prototype ideas in record time, and really pushing this learn-by-doing mindset, with the AI right there as your partner.
So in practice, it's this really simple but super powerful loop. First, you describe your goal. Then the AI generates the code. You run it, you evaluate the result, and then you just refine your request. You can even paste an error message right back into the chat, and a lot of the time the AI will just fix its own mistake. It's pretty wild.
And let me be clear, this is not just for hobby projects. The impact on the startup world is absolutely profound. A full quarter of startups from a recent Y Combinator batch, we're talking one of the world's top accelerators, had code bases that were almost entirely generated by AI. This is happening right now, and it is happening fast.
This all sounds incredible, doesn't it? Maybe a little too good to be true. And, with any powerful new technology, there's always a catch. So let's talk about the reality and the very real risks of vibe coding. The programmer Simon Willison makes a really crucial distinction here. See, there's a big difference between using AI as a smart assistant, where you still review and understand every single line of code, and pure vibe coding, where you just skip that whole review process and trust the output. And that's exactly where things can get dangerous.
Just blindly trusting the AI, it can backfire, and backfire badly. It might spit out code that's insecure, full of bugs, or just plain inefficient. But even worse, relying on it too much can actually stop a developer from learning fundamental skills. I mean, think about it. How can you possibly fix or secure code that you don't actually understand?
And other experts totally agree. AI pioneer Andrew Ng has actually warned that the term itself is misleading. He argues that real, professional software engineering demands rigor and testing and a deep understanding of what's going on. Basically, the exact opposite of just going with the vibes.
So, with all these amazing promises on one side and all these serious perils on the other, where does that leave us? Is vibe coding the future? Or is it just a dangerous shortcut? Well, the truth is, the path forward is probably somewhere in the middle.
Look, the key isn't to reject these tools. It's all about using them wisely. Save that pure vibe approach for low-stakes stuff, like a quick prototype you might just throw away. For anything important, you have to review, test, and understand the code. Be careful with sensitive data like API keys, experiment in safe environments, and always remember the goal. You're trying to augment your skills, not replace them. And that brings us to our final thought. For a long time, we've heard about this no-code future, where programming just disappears. But maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. The real future might be new code,
A world where coding is more conversational, more accessible, and way more creative than it has ever been before, all thanks to our new AI partners. What you build with it, well, that's up to you.